Okay, let's talk about the food we eat every single day. Turns out there's a hidden cost to all that convenience. Today, we're going to break down some incredible new research that shows what's really on our plates and, what it's actually doing to our bodies. So let's just jump right in with a pretty stark warning, and this comes straight from the source material. Those chips, those burgers, all the convenience foods you love, well, they might just be eating you too. All right, first things first, we need to understand the danger here and really get a sense of the scale of the health crisis we're talking about. And look, this isn't just some random opinion or a couple of small studies. We're talking about a landmark new report from the Lancet. That's one of the most respected medical journals on the planet. This was a massive undertaking, with more than 40 scientists from 44 different universities all working on it. And what they found is, wow, the connections are way broader than you might think. This isn't just about obesity. The research is now directly linking these foods to a whole range of serious health issues. I mean, look at this list: heart disease, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, even kidney disease and depression. It's a lot. Okay, so that brings up a really important question. What is an ultra-processed food, or UPF anyway? You hear that term all the time, right? Let's break down what it actually means. All right, this is the key. These aren't just foods that have, a little sugar or salt added. The definition is that they're industrial formulations. So think of it this way. They're not really modified foods. They're more like completely new things created in a lab or a factory. They're designed from the ground up to taste amazing, look perfect, and last forever on a shelf. Here's a great way to picture it. You start with wheat, straight from the field. That's unprocessed. Then you mill it into flour. Okay, that's just processed. But then you take that flour and mix it with industrial fats, tons of sugar, and a bunch of chemical additives to make those cookies you buy in a package. That is ultra-processed. And it's the same deal with, say, a potato. A potato from the ground, unprocessed. You slice it up, that's processed. But by the time it gets turned into those perfectly uniform, pre-fried, specially flavored French fries you find in the freezer aisle, yeah, it's become a totally different thing. So you gotta wonder, how did we get to a point where so much of our food is like this? Well, according to the sources we're looking at, this story isn't just about food science. It's about something else entirely, a corporate playbook driven by money and influence. Step 1 in that playbook, it's a classic move: shift the blame. The industry has spent a fortune pushing this one simple story. Hey, it's not our food that's the problem, it's that you're not exercising enough. It puts all the responsibility on you, not on the product. And they push that message with an absolutely staggering amount of money. Just look at this number. According to our source, just 3 of these companies spent $13.2 billion on advertising in a single year. Now, to really put that number into perspective, let's compare it to something. That $13.2 billion, that's over 4 times the entire operating budget for the World Health Organization, the WHO, the global body in charge of public health. The difference in spending power is it's mind-blowing. And, that ad money is really just the tip of the iceberg. The source material lays out this whole strategy they use to control the conversation. We're talking about funding their own scientific research that, surprise, surprise, comes out in their favor. They lobby governments to kill regulations. They use legal threats to silence critics. They do everything they can to plant seeds of doubt about any independent science that makes their products look bad. And of course, they hire all your favorite celebrities to be brand ambassadors. And this really brings it home with a pretty powerful comparison. It says that just like big money can be used to influence an election, well, burgers and chips can be used to destroy your health. It's about using financial power to get a specific and often destructive outcome. Okay, so this all leads to a really tough question, right? If we know this stuff is bad for us, why don't we just stop eating it? Why is it so hard? Well, here's the thing, and this is maybe the biggest takeaway from the whole Lancet report. The world's top scientists are now saying that this is no longer just a problem of personal choice or willpower. The old idea of just telling people to eat better simply isn't working because the entire system is kind of rigged against us. The report makes this fantastic analogy to drive the point home. Think about it. You can't out-exercise the effects of smoking, right? Nobody would say, oh, just go for a run and that pack of cigarettes won't hurt you.
It's impossible. Well, the argument here is that we need to start thinking about an ultra-processed diet in the exact same way. You can't just exercise away the damage it's doing inside your body.
So if it's not all about personal choice, then what's the answer? Well, the good news is the report doesn't just drop this huge problem on us and walk away. It actually points to a systemic solution. And the solution, according to these scientists, has nothing to do with blaming people. It's all about fixing the system. They're recommending actual policies, things like making UPFs less available and more expensive, restricting how they're marketed, especially to kids, and on the flip side, making it easier and cheaper to get fresh, local, minimally processed foods. It's about investing in a whole different kind of food system. Which really leaves us with one big question to think about. It's pretty clear a battle is being fought over what we eat. On one side, you've got public health. On the other, you've got corporate profit. So the question is, your health or their profit? Who gets to decide?